Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the Nations F1 League. We have 5 rounds for you today, 17 to 21. Start off with Japan, then we're off to the United States, then Mexico, Brazil, and the grand finale in Abu Dhabi. As always, one-shot qualifying, 5-lap races. Anything can happen, and normally does. For those of you who were here last week, you'll remember the fantastic start we had at Russia. Fantastic for a couple of people, not so fantastic for most of the other people, as there was a big crash going around the first corner. And yeah, we are about to get underway here. We're joined by a reasonably sized field. It could be bigger, but could be a lot smaller. And a lot still to play for here today. So we'll just go on board here with Max Thorn as he comes down the start, finish straight. A couple of people haven't actually joined the session, I need to remove them. Oh, a little bit of latency there for Max through the first turn. Don't invalidate, and he hasn't. Then up towards the S's, turn 3, into turn 4, into turn 5. Oh, a little bit tight there. It's turn 6. And then through and up the hill in turn 7 on the Dunlop curve, and not lose the back end like Max has just done. It looks like Yeltek has done the exact same as well. He's retired from the session. Also looks like Crow's gone off as well. Max Thorn has retired, so let's go on board with Crow just through the Degners, then up to the hairpin. Now accelerate hard along this long right-hander turn 12. A little bit up, a little bit down. And then into the famous spoon curve, double left-hander. He's attacking it, and I think he's made a little mistake there in the middle. Attacks it a little too hard and got the power down. Then up the hill to 130R. It's changed a bit over the years, this corner. As Vin's also retired. Slipping the apex nicely there. And then into the Casino Triangle, right, sorry. By left, and then the power down through turn 18. Don't lose the back end. And Crow's kept it nice and neat. And he hasn't been disqualified, but it was a good lap to watch and finish. So Beaker will be starting at the front of the grid. And we'll get a full rundown of those qualifying results in a moment. So it's 5 laps. Dynamic weather is on, so there could be a chance of rain. That's the important part. And yeah, we'll see what it's like in a moment. We'll just do a quick rundown of the grid once everyone's ready up. There we go. So Beaker on pole, followed by Default, Tomo, Rolls Royce, Just Chillin', Positive Vibes, Vin, Max Thorn, John Jones, Crow, and Yeltek. Bottom 3 getting disqualified there, and 2 above them getting crashed out. Alright then. So, nice blue skies for us today. Let's just get up the standings. So, currently at the top of the standings is Netherlands 1. That is the McLaren team. Britain 2 in second place. That's the team of Max and Default in the Saubers. Netherlands 3, the team in the Williams of Just Chillin' and Roy. But we're on the grid now, 5 red lights, and away we go. A little slow movement at the start, but everyone gets away cleanly. A little bit adjusting for the position in the midfield as well. So all slow down, there's a little bit of latency there, but looks Crow seems to have ghosted, and Roy has dropped right to the back. Who was that? That was Vin going well wide at turn 1. There he is. And Beaker's already under pressure there from Default. Further behind, Just Chillin' is trying to go round the outside of Tomo. Tomo's going to have the inside door, and Crow's come right up the field, and is on the back here of Just Chillin'. Come up to the Dunlop curve. See if you can get a good drive off. Tomo runs a little wide in front of him. Is Crow going to have a look down the inside of the first Degners? Not quite, as Tomo flies through there and holds off a charge from Just Chillin' as we go under the bridge in towards the hairpin. See if anyone sends it down the inside. Crow looks late braking, but safely, no contact there. As further back, Roy and Positive Vibes are battling it out. Let's go. Oh, that's the wrong button. Let's flip down here to see what's happening further back. Positive vibes on the rear there of Roy. He's not going to get anywhere just yet. Max Thorn on the rear of Just Chillin'. As further up, Crow's on the back of Tomo. And I think that's going to be a pass. Let's just have a quick look at it. He's going to probably get him into there. And Tomo looking a little out of shape. Caught Crow out a little bit there, but Crow gets the inside, but then he's on the outside of the second part. And he's going to have to concede that. He nearly loses another. I see a wing. Well, that could have been a boller flying off the background. Crow now going side by side with Just Chillin' as they go down the home straight. Max Thorn slipping in behind, looking for a gap, but there isn't going to be one. As we come around, that's a beautiful camera shot going around the first turn. First turn is what they call turn 1 and 2, but as Tomo has had an off and he's dropped right back to P7 there. As Just Chillin', Yeltek and Max Thorn all get past him. Max is trying to look to find a way past Yeltek as Beaker out front has extended his lead up to 1 second already. And Crow is a little bit off default. He's going to look to try and close that gap down if he wants to get up to the front. And Max is looking all out of shape there. He's had a little bit of the corner cut. He's managed to survive without a penalty somehow. As Roy is taking John Jones. Oh, that's a little bit of shunty. And default is off the track. What has happened there? I think he's lost it under accelerating. He nearly coming across the line there of Vin. And default is at the back. So Yeltek on the rear, Max Thorn, but just behind, Just Chillin' is just there. As Roy and John Jones are swapping places once again. And Max Thorn picking up a bit of dust in front of Yeltek. Yeltek lifting off a little bit there just to make sure he can make the corner. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he doesn't. He sits in behind. He knows he's going to be in the DRS soon. But he's got to make it through the corner first. And Tomo has let past him. Just Chillin', come off a little bit worse there. Bit of contact there by lots of things. Hopefully no body damage. And Yeltek is in now the slipstream of Tomo, but he's not going to make a move here. John Jones and Roy still battling out further back. Roy's got past him. We've now on the third lap, so we do have DRS enabled. But with only one DRS straight, which is on the home straight, there's not going to be much use of it. It's Just Chillin' looks to go round the outside there. He's going to the inside and Yeltek of the Dunlop. Yeltek runs a little wide. Just Chillin' slots in behind. Is he going to cut back? No, he's just going to hold it for now. Great defending there from Yeltek, just holding him off. He goes in sector 1 as John Jones drops back. Let's see if... Oh, a little bit of contact there. And that looked like bodywork flying. And he's unfortunately punted Yeltek off. A little late braking, caught him out. And that's a dangerous move over there from Yeltek. Fortunately, Default was able to get past. And it's Just Chillin' is letting Yeltek back past him. That's great sportsmanship there. He knew he did wrong. And he knew what he had to do to fix it. As Tomo's closing in. And Just Chillin' has actually lost an extra place there to Vin through that incident. Obviously Default getting past them both. And Just Chillin' is now dragging up the hill past Vin. And up to P8 there for Just Chillin'. So we're on the 4th lap now. Beaker's got a 1.6 second lead. No penalties to anyone as yet that I've seen. Just keep an eye on Thomas. Thomas time is increasing, so Just Chillin'. He's not close enough there to Yeltek to make an attempt. And Vin, also with DRS, won't be able to make it either. Just Chillin's run a little bit wide there. Vin's going to have a... No, he's not quite close enough to have a little snifter there. And slots in behind. So Crow's getting that gap down to... Ooh, Vin going off track there. Crow's got that gap down to just over a second. And he's going to hope that he can get it down a bit further as... Roy must have, yeah, Roy has gone off, but has Max also gone off up ahead? He's going a bit slow. Look, he's got a bit of dirt on his tyre, so Max has had an off. And Default says enough is enough, and I think he's crashed, unfortunately. Just Chillin' has also appeared to have crashed. Looks like we're having a few issues today with these people. Just a reminder. Oh, John Jones coming very close to Roy there. Just a reminder for those, and Beaker's just joining. What's happened here? Everyone's disconnected. Is this the plague that is F1 2018 striking us? As 3 people have all disconnected from the race. Yeah, unfortunately that's the way the cookie crumbles. And those of you who watched AOR on Sunday will remember Crow had a similar issue whilst leading. Um, it's unfortunate, and if the drivers who are here can actually invite other drivers back in during the race, particularly, that would be great. I can't invite until the end of the race, unfortunately, and we'll have to do it very quickly. Crow's picking up penalties there, he's got to be careful. So Biko has joined back in. Thomas picked up a penalty as well, and the field is starting to filter out. Default is not going to close in on Yeltec, unfortunately. Roy is there, he might get positive vibes towards the end. He has a little off there, he's hunting down positive vibes now for P9. Coming up to the hairpin for the last time, he's going to hope for a good drive out here and get him down towards Spoon. But neither of them doing that corner particularly well. Positive vibes has got that gap down to 102nd. As Crow has finished in the lead, courtesy of Disconnect, and Positive Vibes a little bit wider. He's almost letting Roy through there, and Roy's going to hope he's got a much better drive, and it looks like he has, and that's not going to help him. He's not going to take this position unless Positive Vibes makes a mistake, or he's going to send it. He does, and that's the last of the late breakers, and unfortunately he's gone well off, and only picks up a 3-second penalty for that. That's quite lenient. It does mean he will finish behind Positive Vibes. Right, let's try and get everyone who unfortunately disconnected in that back into this race as soon as we can. Right, so next up we will be off to the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. Right, let's just make sure everyone is in that needs to be in. It appears they are. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Yep, looks like everyone that should be here is in. I think Wrexham was actually here for that last race. Right. Don't think I can restart a race, unfortunately. That's the wrong button. Right. Right. So off to America for the next race. Oh, missed it. I was hoping to get them out of the lobby. It makes it a little bit easier to work out what's going on. Alright then, I apologise for that. Disconnect, not much we can do about that. If it happened between the race and the qualifying, then there's something I could have done, but as we just wait. Nice blue skies here at Texas. There has been a threat of rain during the actual race, I believe. The actual F1 race, not our race. But, right, just now wait for all the drivers to ready up and then we'll be underway. It's a 5.5 kilometre track, 20 corners. It's designed by Herman Hike, I believe the guy's name is, and he's modelled it on a lot of famous tracks across the world. So you've got the S's, similar to what we just saw in Japan, and quite similar to the Maggotts Beckett's complex in Silverstone. We're going on board here with Default, as he's going to show us how it's done. So up the hill now towards turn 1, massive entry, and then a really tight hairpin and a narrow exit by quite a long way, and then you go through turn 2, and then you get into these S's. Really important to have your car stabilised for this, because one mistake and you go flying. Turn 6, then little kink, turn 7, up the hill to turn 8, which is quite a long right-hander. Turn 9, again just a little kink, and then you get your power down. Turn 10, not really much of a turn. Downhill to turn 11, basically a flat turn 1. And then you get down this long up and down back straight, which is a DRS straight. You can see a fair few overtaking on this straight, or isn't straight really, it's a bit of a kink to it. And then into this hard braking for turn 12. And then you're going to get a double right-hander. So this is where you're going to see a lot of overtaking during the race, because people get on the inside or the outside. Then they get the inside of this one, which is another double left hand, which is left-hander this time, turn 13 and 14, 15, 16, sorry. And then a long double apex right-hander, 17 and 18. And 2 corners to go, turn 19, just a little clip there. Running out as far as you can, and then turn 20, final corner. Get that power down, get that DRS wide open, and set a decent time with 1:31.9 there for Default. Couple of disqualifications there, but let's do a quick rundown of the grid as soon as it's up. Oh, as soon as everyone ready's up, sorry. Which is hopefully soon. There we go. So Yeltek going to start at the front from Beaker, Default, Roy, Tomo, Crow, Vin, Positive Vibes, John Jones, Just Chillin' and Max Thorne. Just Chillin' and Max Thorne at the back there, disqualified unfortunately for extended track limits, shall we say. I think that's the easiest way to say it. And yeah, so that should provide a good race. The Mercedes boys at the front, dominating here. There have been a few races here in the recent days, so they should be well used to it. But it's nearly race time. And it's looking a little overcast, but normally in 5-lap races the weather's not going to change in the middle of it. At least I can't remember a time seeing a change in the middle of a race, especially a 5-lap one. Just want to wait now for everyone's ready up. No formation laps, we just get straight into the action. Let's go on board. Let's go with Tomo. P5 is where I normally start watching from. And lights out, and away we go. A little slow start there from Roy, and he's lagged back a bit, which has allowed people to get past him. So they all go up towards the first corner. Just Chilling's well off the pace back there. A little bit of coming together. No bodywork flying, which is always good to see. And unless your name's Vin, then you pick up a 2-second penalty for a collision with Tomo. Oh, and that was Default flying off wide there, as Yeltek leads into the first few corners. And Roy picks up a penalty. Let's go on board here with Default back on the back there of Tomo. Coming through at turn 8. And R9. He's going to have a look down the inside, is he? Or is he just going to wait for this long straight? Get that slipstream. As Roy and Positive Vibes, battling out once again. And John Jones has got past, and so is Max Thorne. And it's going to be a drag race, and Positive Vibes has got out the power. See if Max Thorne makes a move here on John Jones. I think he's gonna. He does try, but he just can't. Try and last the late breakers. Unfortunately, he sends it down there as John Jones makes a little mistake, And Max jumps at that opportunity. He's gone board with Tomo. Tomo's battling out with Default for 4th place at the moment. And Default holds him off for now. He's gone board with Tomo. As he's all over the back there of the Sauber driver. Runs a little wide. Is he going to look? No. Just a little destabilised coming off that corner. Yeltek, funny enough, assessing the fastest lap as they're going up the hill towards turn 1. No changes at the front just yet. And Vin has pitted. Obviously picks up a little bit of damage on the first lap. And Tomo still holding on the back. There's a little change has gone behind him. Max has retired, unfortunately. Let's see if we can see where that was. And we're not going to see any time soon. So let's go and positive vibe from Tomo. Ooh, just seen John Jones flying across the track there. He's getting a little bit punchy in his attempts to hold off the four-cylinder driver. Go back on board with Vin, see if we can see. He's obviously lost it at the first corner, unfortunately. And Positive Vibes is just unable to find a way past John Jones just yet. He's going to have the slipstream on the isn't straight. And this should be a pass if that camera angle is any better. We'll see it. There he goes, pulled out the slipstream and sends it quite comfortably down the inside, and up he goes into P7. Set his sights on Roy now. As at the front, Crow's on here, on the back here of Yeltek. As we're coming up to start lap 3, Default picks up a 2-second penalty. There's been a few little penalties here and there. See if it costs anyone at the end of the race. Crow setting the fast lap for 33.1. Yeltek's able to hold him off for now. Ooh, Crow getting very close there to the rear of Yeltek. Able to just hold it off for now though. This is currently the closest battle. Keep an eye on Default closing in on Beaker. That potentially might break open into a battle. As we're coming round the last part of the S's, and we're going to have DRS in a moment. Yeltek's Default Crow, sorry, is already in. Oh, he was in mode 4. He's just down to mode 3 for the corner. See him shift it up, get that power down. Yeltek's gone defensive very early on. Or is he just trying to break the slipstream? Crow looking to go down the outside. He's going to have the inside of the second part of the corner. But late braking there from Yeltek, and he holds the position. Great defending. And he pushes Crow onto the outside of the second part of the corner and holds him off. No way through there for Crow. So he's looking to go around the outside of this one. He's going to try and get this power down and go around the outside now again of turn 17-18, but he's just not close enough, and he's in the dirty line of the track. And he's not going to close in just yet, but he's going to get another chance in a moment. This gets DRS on the home straight and up the hill into turn 1. Just struggles a little bit to get the power down there, loses the back end ever so slightly amount, and that's not the camera angle I was after. No. Yeltek holds him off again. Let's have a look behind. Default sliding out of turn 1 on his hunt after Beaker. And Crow still on the rear here of Yeltek. Default picking up another penalty. That's not going well for him today. We're on lap 4. Not many attempts now left if Crow wants to get past Yeltek. Yeltek gets a good drive out of that corner, extends his lead up a little bit. See if Crow's got what it takes. Well, we know he's got what it takes, but let's see if he can actually do something with it. I mean, that's a great angle for the car in front, which we'll have. There we go, look at that. Just seeing Crow over his shoulder there. Crow goes down the inside. Outside, sorry. Yeltek holds it, but then Crow's going to have the inside of the next 2 corners. And he's not there yet, because he's now going to be on the outside of the next 2 corners. And Yeltek takes it, but Crow's going to get a good drive out of this corner. He's trying to find that inside line, but Yeltek just says, no, you're not coming through here. Yeltek's running a little bit wide. Crow's going to have a good chance into turn 19. Now he gets off the power. This is great battling going on for the lead. So Yeltek is holding him off. And Crow sliding out that final corner. That's how he likes it. He likes that back end sticking out. It's going up the hill now. Crow's just in the lead. But Yatek's got the inside line. And Yatek just holds him off. A little bit more contact. And Crow's going to the inside of turn 2. And they are going side by side through the S's. This is fantastic. And a little bit out of shape there. Crow picks up an unfortunate penalty there. And he's still trying to find a way past Yeltek. Let's go on board with him. Coming now down towards turn 11. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, he doesn't. He's just going to stick on the back of him. Try and out-drag him as Beaker and Default are joining this party. Let's see if they've got anything. It should look easy enough. Crow's got alongside him. He's got past him. As Yeltek, a little bit of nudge there. He's gone past him. But was that contact that caused or allowed Yeltek past? And Crow slots into P2 again. We're on the final lap now. Crow is just hanging on the back there. Yeltek is going to try and send it down the inside or the outside. Oh, he nudges him and well, I mean that's a different way of getting past him. Probably not the way he planned, and the Mercedes boys coming across the line together, and Crow does drop down as a result of the 2-second penalty, and Beaker does take the win after Yeltek nearly losing the back end. As further back, Default P4, Tommy P5, Roy is going to come across the line in P6. Positive Vibes a little bit off the pace, he's going to come across in P7. As Vin and John Jones coming across 8th and 9th. John Jones, unfortunately, with a little RPM glitch, not making life very easy. And Just Chilling is going to bring up the rear, see if he gains any places through penalty. I think he did. And there we go. Get a full rundown of the results in a moment. And there you go. So Beaker taking the win from Yeltek, Crow, Default, Tomo, Roy, Positive Vibes, John Jones, Just Chillin', Vin, and Maxi Thorn. That's the end of the United States Grand Prix. Next up is Mexico, a track that I don't see enough of. I do like it, and yeah, looking forward to coming here. So Max has run off. I don't think he's in the best mood. Let's see if he's said anything. I don't think he has. No. Unlock that one. Unlock that one. Just make it less confusing. I'll leave Max in it just in case he wants to come back. Oh, he's gone off. Right. Fantastic race there. Let's hope for another good one here in Mexico. And qualifying will be getting underway shortly. Don't know what the delay is. Maybe I need to remove Max, because I mean 7 drivers are already, it should be going. Don't know why it's not starting, this is odd. Shouldn't need everyone to ready up, it should just ready itself up in a moment. What's gone wrong? I don't know why it's not starting. This is unusual. It's ready up and then unready and spectate. No. There we go. Time was stopped at 30. Well, answers on postcards for why this isn't going. I honestly have no idea why this isn't going. I might have to rehost the lobby. This seems to have almost died. I think it's going to be the best thing to do at this situation is just to restart the lobby, because that should be going down. So, yeah, let's restart the lobby and hopefully we'll get going. League, invite only. Right, hopefully that should get going. Right, Pika, Tomo, default. Right, I think that's everyone now in. Let's try again. Hopefully this will start. There we go, time is going. Finally. So I apologise for that delay. Nothing has been lost effectively, just rehost the lobby. And yeah, we'll get qualifying underway in the next few moments. Only 3 rounds to go. Let's see what we can do. So again, once again, clear skies for the qualifying. It's been a while since we've had a wet one. Hopefully we'll get a nice wet race at Brazil. Obviously it's at dynamic, I don't choose the weather. And yeah. So just wait now for all the drivers to ready up, get the qualifying setups on, and we shall be underway. If they can do that anytime soon, that'd be great. Just wait for the last 2 drivers to ready up, Justin and John Jones. And there we go, so we've done default already. Let's do Vin then. Vin will show us how we drive Mexico then. So nice big long straight, one of the longest on the calendars actually, down towards the first corner. DRS section as well to go with it. And we're going to see some battles going into turn 1. Hard braking through the left, through right, and left, and another little right. Run a little bit wide, but it should be okay. DRS section again. Go now down towards turn 4, which is a left-right chicane. A little bit wide in the entry there. A little bit slow, unfortunately, through the middle of that. Then turn 6, this double right-hander hairpin. And then we come to another circuit with some fast S's here. Turn 7 and 8 and 9, 10 and into 11. Lovely flowing together those corners. Little kink in the track, that's not actually a corner. And into turn 12, and then we're into the stadium section. This tight, twisty, just only a handful of corners, but it's really tight. As you can see, Vin struggling to get the car through there. From 15 into 16. Just Chilling is unfortunately retired. Beaker's been disqualified, and Vin thinks he's going in the pits, but he's not. And there we go. He was also disqualified. Look at that. Only 4 people actually putting the time, assuming Roy actually puts the time in and doesn't get disqualified as well. And we'll get the full results in a moment. Obviously Yeltek there looking like he got P1. So the circuit catching people out there. A lot of disqualifications. That is the thing with only 1 lap to do it. You either go home or you go broke. So Yeltek taking the pole. Look at that gap though to default. 0.05 of a second. Positive Vibes in 3rd and Roy in 4th. Roy a bit off the pace there. So disqualifications. You got Tomo, Vin, Crow, Beaker, Just Chilling, and John Jones. So Mercedes boys at the front and at the back. And we'll get the race underway shortly. I stopped twiddling with my beard, which I will never do. Right then, nice clear day for the race. Should have some nice temperature on track. As we're just once again waiting for all the drivers to ready up, and then we will get this race underway. And here we are, on grid. Godbob go with Roy. As lights out and away we go. Everyone away cleanly. Yeltek comes across the line to cover off default. Positive Vibes is trying to go down the left hand side. And they're all getting a bit shunty. As Roy, oh look at that dive there from BK. Has he made it though? I think he's run a little bit deep. Oh, big contact there. That was big contact from default. Wow. That was a shunt and a half there. I think you might have got that corner a little bit wrong. Let's have a look at this battle. Oh, Beaker's getting punchy. He's got his wings out. And he might have got his wing off. As Positive Vibes and John Jones battling out there for P4. John Jones got past him. Up he goes. Sit here with Just Chilling, looking at this battle going on in front of him. Yeltek picks up a penalty already. And Positive Vibes has got well out of it. I think he lost it a little bit in the middle there. As Crow and Tomo are also battling out. Let's go on board here with Crow and Tomo. And Crow has picked up a little bit of front right damage there. I think he might have just gone into the back of Tomo. And I doubt Crow's going to pit unless he absolutely has to. And no, he's staying out. So let's go on board with John Jones. John Jones getting a little out of shape there. As he's tempted to hunt down Just Chilling, but oh, that's why his latency is not helping him. So Positive Vibes goes past him and up into P5. Default's pitted, and I expect Beaker to also pit. And so let's stay here with John Jones battling out with Positive Vibes for P5. They are, when I say battling, I actually mean they are completely battling. No holds barred by the looks of things here today. And John Jones has dropped off the pace a little bit there, Positive Vibes. And he's all over the back of him still though, in those braking areas. John Jones there with more latency. It's bringing Roy into it. And the problem is with latency, they can suddenly appear right through you and scare the bejesus out of you. Oh, John Jones came right across and Roy moves up. Oh, where the hell did that come from? That's his teammate Vin coming from the other side of the track. One goes off one way and the other comes from the other side. That's interesting manoeuvre. I think Roy picks up a bit of front wing damage there in the middle of that. Yeah, there you go. Look at that front right. Not a lot on there. As Yeltek goes fastest and Crow is hunting down Tomo. Is he going to see a move down the inside here? He's getting closer. Ever so close. I think he's going to have to be very late on the brakes and he isn't there. but he's stuck to the back here of Tomo. No DRS this time round because the detection point is before the start finish line, so they will get it on the next time round. And Tomo's got to try and increase that lead over Crow, and unfortunately that's not the way to do it with a bit of corner cut like that, as Crow takes even more damage. Yeah, look at that front right is flat now. There's not a lot on there. And he's holding on to the back though. But he's going to be absolutely struggling now. He's going to hope that he can get past Tomo with the DRS, because he's losing time through these fast corners. He's going to lose even more time in this stadium section, I suspect, unless Tomo makes a mistake. As Roy and Vin exchange places further back. And Crow is going to stay out. Yes, he is. He's going to get DRS here, though. So he's going to try and make a move. Not this one, on the next one. That gap is at half a second and closing 0.4 of a second. Tomo goes defensive. Crow's going for the outside line. Oh, Tomo comes across to try and cover him off, but unfortunately goes into the side of him by the looks of things. And Beaker says enough is enough for the day and has retired. Tomo is behind Crow, but Crow does have that DRS now. And Tomo just can't do anything about it. Roy picks up a 2-second penalty further back in 7th. That could cost him. As Tomo's just struggling to find a way now past Crow. Crow with that damaged front right wing. Tomo, which I believe has a fine wing. He does. So Crow's going to be slow through this corner. Is that going to catch Tomo out and make him go slow? I think it is. Look at that. Tomo just can't catch in on Crow despite that damage. And Vin is getting close to the back of Positive Vibes once again. Let's stick with this battle for now. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Vin pulling out the slipstream and diving down the inside. And he's got it. That's a lovely move. Lost the late breakers. Let's go back up to Tomo then. He's going to be in this DRS now. 0.6 behind. And closing. But not as fast as Crow was. Or was he? There we go. 0.4. No, Crow's held him there. But Tomo will get another DRS section. We are on the final lap. So Crow's going to be defending for his life now. Because I think if Tomo gets past him... Actually, Tomo's got a 2-second penalty, so that shouldn't be a problem. Crow should almost let him just drive into the side of him. So Crow holds him off for now. Just chilling, picking up penalties behind. Tomo is going to sit there in P3. He's not going to gain anything. He does have 2-second penalties. You need. Just chilling did just get a penalty. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's stay with this just in case you see a last second move from Tomo into turn 12. And we're not. So unless Crow makes a big mistake or Tomo does something rather audacious like that. But Crow's got the inside of the second corner. Crow obviously not knowing that Tomo does have a 2-second penalty and could probably just let him go. And Crow, yeah, takes P2. Just Junior's going to be P4. Let's have a look what's going on behind Roy and Positive Vibes battling out the P6. And that's going to go to Positive Vibes. Roy's going to get P7. John Jones coming around the final corner. The Mansell corner, turn 17. Default, bit off the pace, but still finishing. He obviously had that incident on the opening lap. Made him pit. And Default's going to bring home P9. So there we go. That's the Mexican Grand Prix over and done with. And next up is Brazil. There you go, full confirmation of the positions. Yeltek taking the win from Crow, Tomo, Just Chilling, Vin, Positive Vibes, Roy, John Jones, Default, and then Beaker DNFing. But with 2 races to go, I think Yeltek might have this drivers one in the bag, but it's all about the teams here at the Nations F1 League. All about your nationality, not about your team. Not about your individuality, sorry. Like, it's all about your team. So let's get this race underway as soon as we can. Get off to lovely Brazil. Just, I think we're almost going straight away, aren't we? Look at that. No messing. We are getting this one straight underway. One more race after this. And we'll be underway shortly. Interlagos is probably one of my favourite tracks. Well, quite a lot of them are my favourite tracks, particularly the old ones. Some of the new ones are good, but I'm an old man. I like the old tracks, the classic tracks. And this is one of those classic tracks. That long home straight, and then the back straight, and then that really technical midfield. Just makes for an all-round great circuit, and that is not good news for some people. That's rain, as you can quite clearly see, and that is going to mess people up. Apologies for that one. And we'll be underway as soon as everyone's put on that lovely wet weather setup. Unless it's going to be dry in the race, then people are going to be looking to put on a dry setup and just make it high in qualifying. Obviously, quite often the person that is starting at the front wins, but if it's going to change like this, you got wet in the qualifying, dry in the race, then anything can happen, and normally does. Just wait now, and we'll be underway. Here we go. So let's go on board with Beaker as he's setting a flying lap down the center S's turn 1 and sliding around the center S's turn 1 is Beaker, and I think he now doesn't want me to look at him because that's not quite what he wanted to do, but let's stay with him anyway as he goes through turn 2 into turn 3. If this is dry, this will then be a DRS straight starting there and down towards turn 4. Vin's retired, Just Chillin's retired. This is where you can really lose the back end. Round that turn 5. Oh, well held there from Beaker. That was going round and he just held it. Turn 6, turn 7, then into turn 8, tight hairpin. And little acceleration down into turn 9, which goes down and then up into just a little kink. Oh, Beaker lighting up the rears there. Into turn 10. Turn 11. He's just limping around now, he knows, just needs to be careful. Turn 12, this little tight hairpin. And Beaker sliding all over the place. Turn 14. And then a little kink is turn 15, where Alonso had that big crash a few years ago, and there you go. So, not the cleanest lap from Beaker, but still pushing in a time, which is the important part. He does start 5th, despite those issues, because other people had bigger issues than he did, including disqualifications and DNFers. So I think he'll actually be quite happy with coming 5th. But now, the race. So there you go, Crow taking pole by just under a second from Yeltec. Default, John Jones, Beaker, Roy, and then no time set as they DNF'd by Tomo, Just Chilling and Vin. Positive Vibes getting that disqualification, unfortunately for him. So he'll be starting at the back. And we'll have the race underway shortly. And we'll see if it's a dry race or another wet one. I think a dry race will make things a little bit interesting. I mean, that's dry, but that shows nothing. And there you go, look at that, bright blue skies. Few clouds, but still blue sky, which means we do have a dry race. So hopefully those who have put on a dry setup. Maybe that's why Beaker had that spin. He had put that dry setup on and will look to carve his way up the field if anyone else in front hasn't put on a dry setup. And let's get racing. So, lights out. Oh, yeah, lights out. And away we go. Slow start there by the looks from John Jones. He's going to get swamped. As a little tussling, big tussling there. That was Yeltek picking up damage. Beaker getting shunted wide. And trying to come through there on John Jones, but he's a little out of shape. And he's lost out there, just chilling. A little bit of zigzagging going on there. It's almost like there's a safety car out. I'm not sure why there's a blue flag out, but there is. Oh! Just see in the background there, Vin getting all out of shape. So let's go on board with just chilling on the rear here of John Jones. Oh, Beaker trying to go around the outside there. Just a little bit late on the braking. He's got the inside now of the second corner. And we go up. And just chilling, he's got the inside now. But he's got a car in front of him, he's going to have to be careful. Beaker now has the inside and should make this one stick. And does. Runs a little wide. Oh, big wide! And that's a wall. And that's Beaker going home. That's unfortunately into there for Beaker. Just a little out of shape. Coming off that corner. As time's a little bit out here for some people. But just chilling, looking to make a move here on John Jones getting into the centre S's. He hasn't made a move, but he's on the rear. John Jones looking a little out of shape, coming off turn 3. Going to give Just Chilling a chance to get that power down. John Jones there with a little bit of latency. And is he going to send it? He doesn't. John Jones defending hard. But Just Chilling is right there, looking to capitalise on any little mistake made by John. And is that little mistake, John? Oh, that was a little mistake, but Just Chilling couldn't capitalise on it. Further back, Vin is battling with Positive Vibes. Let's have a look and see what's happening there. Oh, he's lost it there, unfortunately, coming off the corner. And he's going to lose a lot of time. So let's go back then to Just Chilling on the rear of John Jones still. Going up the hill now onto the home straight. John Jones weaving a little bit, trying to stabilise Just Chilling's air. But Just Chilling is just ignoring it. And he's going to look to go down the outside of turn 1. That's a terrible camera angle. Come on, game. There we go. Oh, fuck's sake. So Just Chilling still in P6, but he's got DRS now on the rear. John Jones, he should have this one made. And he does, there you go. Oh, a little bit of shunting there going on. But Just Chilling has made it up to P5. That's further behind Positive Vibes, gets past Vin. Oh, that's a dive and a half. And that is going to cost John Jones as he's slid off. And he's going to come back on straight into the side of Positive Vibes. Don't think he had much control over that. But John Jones is now right at the back. As Yeltek and Tomo are exchanging places. Tomo have a little off by chance. Positive Vibes has retired from the session, unfortunately. So, it's starting to feature itself out here now. Gaps are not looking as big as they once, or as small as they once were. And yeah, we're only on lap 4. So let's go on board with Vin. He's got a gap of 1.5 seconds to Just Chilling in front of him. Some yellow flags out in sector 2 and 3. Oh, that's for John Jones, who's somehow still in the race. That was a mighty clash with the wall there. And he's slipping inside the pits. So let's go back up to his teammate Vin, who's Just Chilling and Vin both pick up penalties by the looks of things there. Just Chilling's closing in on Tomo. Tomo's looking a little out of shape today. Has he picked up some damage? Can't see from that angle. Or is he just all out of shape today? Just Chilling's looking for a way past him. Tomo is all over the shot, and Tomo just almost, he just slid straight off. He's kept it out the wall, somehow. He hasn't got any damage, mate. Don't know what's going on there with Tomo. He's normally a quick driver, but it's just not working for him today. As he's starting to slip back. And, yeah. Just Chilling, losing out to Vin as well, which is interesting. I didn't see that happen. Just trying to see what's happened to Tomo's car, see if we can get a view of the front nose, if there is any damage. Don't think there is. No, there's no damage there. It's just obviously not his favourite track. Maybe had a wet weather setup on, and that's costing him. And John Jones is going as slow as he can, I think, in the pit lane. Or maybe he's just ulted forward and just rolling in. So he's only going 12 miles an hour, and that's the pit exit, actually. He's giving it a little bit of acceleration. Not sure what's going on there. As Crow has finished the race in P1. And so Yotek's going to be P3 behind default. Vin bringing home a decent P4 there. Josh Chilling going to be a P5. Matt Tomo, not quite his... He does finish just... Matt Tomo's just not quite his day today, not sure what's going on there. I don't think that was quite his track. Roy is going to bring home P7. And John Jones just needs to finish. If you can do that before the timer expires, that would be great. Well, I mean, you knew that was going to happen. You're sitting there going 2 miles an hour. I'm not sure what John Jones is doing. I don't know why he just didn't finish. Or just DNF yourself instead of limping around like this, wasting everyone's time. I am just going to drop him a message. There we go. So we're just waiting now for John Jones to work out how the accelerator works, and we'll be done here in Brazil. One round left to do after this, and I've been informed by Matt Tomo's engineers that he is just a terrible driver. Had nothing to do with his rear tyres being overheating. He's just a terrible driver. So there we go, final confirmation of the positions. Crow taking the win, followed by default, Yotek, Vin, Just Chilling, Tomo, Roy, John Jones, Positive Vibes, and then Beaker. And one round to go. We are off for the grand finale in Abu Dhabi. And unfortunately, because the race has come so quick and fast, I've not been able to update results as we go. So the final result is yet to be decided. So here we go, grand finale now in Abu Dhabi, under the lights, and yep, straight into the next one, no messing once again. I think I'll just found the emote I was looking for. There we go. Oh well. So, as no surprise to anyone, there is no rain here in Abu Dhabi. We did have a threat of rain during the actual F1. It never came to fruition, but it was still a threat. Unfortunately, it was an empty threat. Could have made things a little interesting because I don't think many people actually have wet weather setups for this track. Because it's not one you ever expect to actually have to race in the wet. But we'll be underway with qualifying shortly. And we'll see how they handle. There's 21 corners on this track. And a very unique pit lane. In fact, it goes under the track. Some people don't like it, but I absolutely love it. So let's go on board with Yeltec, currently top of the drivers. So he's going to show us how to do this track through turn 1. Power down now into little kinky turn 2. Around turn 3. Little turn 4, not much to it. And then hard braking to turn 5. Around turn 6, that's where Michael Schumacher lost it a few years ago. Around the long hairpin of turn 7, and then you've got the DRS back straight. Power down. DRS opening now. And come now down the long back straight towards turn 8. Very hard braking. And I'm sure everyone remembers turn 8 from the actual F1 this year where Nico Hülkenberg went flying into the wall, upside down. Through turn 10, another DRS section now. Down the not quite isn't straight. Interestingly, he opens up, and you're not actually supposed to use that extra bit of track, and he doesn't. Through the chicanes to turn 10, 11, 12 and 13. Round turn 14, very easy to invalidate going out of 13 into 14, but he didn't. Through 15, and then 16, and straight to 17 as John Jones has to retire from the session. Through turn 18, sorry, then into 19. Keeping out that wall, that can catch a few people out during the race. That wall's very close. Through turn 20 and then round the final corner into the home straight and across the line. And he does a 35-1, sorry. As Roy gets disqualified and default. And we're just waiting now for Beaker to cross the line to see where he is, and there he is. So we'll have a quick rundown of those positions shortly. So there we go, Crow taking the pole position from Yeltec, Just Chilling, Tomo, Vin, Positive Vibes and Beaker. The disqualifications there for Roy, Default and John Jones. So, last race of the season. Let's make it a good one. Oh, and it is made a good one. I was talking about the rain earlier, and here it is. It's a little bit of drizzle, and it is going to be inters. I wonder if it will stop quite early in the race. We might actually go on the dries. I highly doubt it. You don't often see changeable weather in a 5-lap race. So last race we had wet to dry, and this time we've got dry to wet. So we're on the grid. 5 red lights, and away we go. Sliding out the start there is Yeltec, and he's got a terrible start actually. He's been taken by Just Chilling, but he's going to have the inside line as the Force Indians behind battle it out. And Tomo up to P5. A little bit of sideways action there for Beaker. Roy's dropped right off, and that's Positive Vibes trying to get past his teammate. Oh! That's Beaker off. Beaker's have a nightmare of a day, unfortunately for him. I'm not sure if that was contact or he just lost the rear end, but Just Chilling looks like he's almost lost the rear end there. He's gone very wide. Tom's going to come through on the inside here. And it's going to be a drag race, and similarly behind Default and Positive Vibes drag racing out as well. This is going to be the last on 8 breakers, which is not a way to race in the rain. And let's see who goes into the corner first. It's probably going to be Tommy. He's got the inside line. And it's going to be Tommy with the inside line. Holding off, Just Chilling. Behind Default's got past Positive Vibes. Times are a little bit off as well. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, Just Chilling on the rear of Tomo. Not close enough, and we're not going to get DRS probably at all. And oh, that is a late dive there from Default. He's made it stick. That's a rocket from Default, as Vin's DNF'd as well. But Default with an absolute beastly overtake there, sliding past Just Chilling as he attempts to hunt down Tomo. Tomo's starting to move away, but he's made a bit of a mistake there. It's going to bring Default in a little bit closer. And there you go, that gap is halved to Tomo, whilst Just Chilling is just chilling behind them. This wet road is catching people out, and there you go, it's just caught Just Chilling out. And he's off. Third retirement already, and we've only just finished lap 1 for most of these people. People are just going to get points by surviving. It's almost starting to feel like a Battle Royale game now. Survival of the fittest. Not even survival of the fittest, it's just survival. So Default, he's trying to hunt down Tomo. He's on the rear, but he's not going to see DRS at all, I suspect, this race. So it's going to have to be just down to pure driving and a bit of slipstream and setup if they have it. And he's half a second off, but we saw a great overtake last lap from Default. Going into turn 11, which is coming up after this straight. Will he pull off another one here on Tomo? He's drawing him in, 0.3 of a second. Is he going to send it down the inside? He's looking around the outside, and he can't find it. As he's sticking on the back there of Tomo. Hoping Tomo makes a little mistake. And this is currently the only battle, unfortunately, going on track. I've said earlier, we do have 3 DNFs. Tomo's run wide again for the second time in a row on that corner. It's going to allow Default to close in a little bit. There you go, 0.4 of a second. As Default holds him off, Tomo runs a little bit wide, and Default comes through. John Jones and Roy having a big coming together by the sounds of things further back. As Crow goes across the fastest. Default's looking around the outside of turn 1. He's got the nose in front, but now Tomo's got it back. John Jones picks up another penalty further back. He might have got some front wind damage, unable to keep it facing the right way. Default looking to go round the outside, but he's going to have the inside of the second part of the chicane. But he's not in front enough to make use of it. So he's going to look to try and get him on the back straight. He's got a nice wide line. He's going to cut back, get his power down nice and early. He's got the slipstream. I think he might go for it this time. Tomo goes defensive. Oh, I didn't realise he was going for that side. I would have gone for the other side. And Tomo just clips the back end. Unfortunately, Default's taken the position, but Tomo's cut the corner and has picked up a 3-second penalty for it. And I suspect he might have had to give that position back. Doesn't appear to be given. Oh, I think he is giving the position back. But Default doesn't want to give. Doesn't want it. John Jones is retired. That's a bit cheeky there from Default. Unless he was saying, no, it was my mistake that you went off track. And unfortunately, Tomo picked up a 3-second penalty because he overtook off the track. And yeah, so Tomo picking up 5 seconds of penalties on that one corner alone. And he's sliding still. He keeps it on the track this time round though. As Default moves up into P3. And we're starting to almost run out of races before we run out of laps by the looks of things. We're down to 6. With a few penalties being applied, the closest we've got two cars together is 1.8 seconds between Tomo and Default. And yeah, and that's not going to be closing anytime soon. So let's go up and have a look at Yeltek then, who's 2 and a bit seconds behind Crow. But Crow does have that nice wet weather setup on, and you can see he's starting to pull away on the straights from Yeltek. I'm starting to feel the rest of the race might be quite processional unless someone makes a big mistake. And it's going to take a big mistake from one of these two guys to lose a podium. Yeltek lighting up the rear tyres there, trying to get that power down. I don't think he's not going to be able to pass Crow at all, I suspect. Crow's going to have to make a rather sizable mistake. So let's have a look further back. So Default quite steady now. He's got past Tomo. A little bit of issues in passing him, but he's picked up a 2-second penalty. That was a daft penalty. He lined up and just drove straight across. He didn't attempt to make the corner. He just looked like he went, oh, you know what, I'm just going to drive across this. Probably lost more time than he made, and that's that little mistake. He's taken a lot of front wing damage, and he's going to lose out to Tomo. Tomo comes past him, and Default's picked up a big amount of front wing damage there. And he's going to have to pit, I suspect, unless he thinks he can hold off Positive Vibes, who is 6 seconds, sorry, behind him. And Default is just really struggling now. He's going to be on the last lap. But has he got the ability? Well, he's probably got the ability to hold off Positive Vibes, but has the car got the stability now to hold him off? So let's go on board with Positive Vibes. He's just going to run wider there again. Positive Vibes 6 seconds behind, and that's before that corner. The gap is Positive Vibes driving very aggressively there, not picking up any penalties surprisingly. Oh, he's had to take to the escape road there as Positive Vibes is starting to close in. Default's got to be careful. Yeah, he's picked up a penalty unfortunately there. He's just carrying a little bit too much speed into the corner. And Positive Vibes is right up there with him now. Well, I say that, he's still 6 seconds behind. But yeah, so that's that mistake that I was talking about that could happen, and has happened unfortunately to Default. And I think he's got enough penalties that Tomo is going to stay ahead of him, as the gap between Tomo and Yeltek is 15 seconds, which is quite substantial. But then with the issues Tomo and Default have had, that's not entirely surprising. Crow now coming around turn 18 into 19, so he's only got 2 corners to go. Should be an easy win for him. And unless he makes an even bigger mistake than Default made, I don't think this is going anywhere else than the Frenchman, or the Italian, French-Italian. And there we go, so Crow's going to come across the line in the win. Yeltek sliding across the line for P2, unable to crash out. Default picks up another 2-second penalty. He's got to be careful because he might lose out to Positive Vibes now. He's always just got to pin the throttle. Positive Vibes is just off the back of him. So Tomo gets 3rd, Default 4th, Positive Vibes. And that might have just saved Default from losing a place. Positive Vibes losing it. Unfortunately for Roy, he collected Positive Vibes coming through. And that's kind of unfortunate there for Roy. Not much Positive to do about that. He just lost the back end. And that's an unfortunate incident on the final corner of the race. But there we go, that is the end of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and that is the end of the Nations F1 League. Hopefully we'll be back for a second one next time round. I'm thinking of starting another one at the beginning of March, so a few weeks off. Similar sort of setup. hopefully with a few more drivers and a bit more excitement, because that one petered off there towards the end. But as you can see, Crow taking the win from Yeltec, Tomo, Default, Positive Vibes, Roy, John Jones, Just Chillin', Vin, and Bika. The wet race catching out people there. And there we go. So, thank you all for joining me. Yeah, so there you go, look. Yeltec apparently took the championship. I didn't realise that screen ever appeared, but that's cool. Never seen that screen before. But at the end of the day, it's down to constructors more than it is the individuals. And the results for these will be posted later on Discord, possibly tomorrow. Obviously with a few possible amendments.